This PHC update from the 2022 NCHA Metallica Futurity is brought to you by Justin Insurance.
Hi everybody, welcome to this PHC update from the 2022 NCHA Metallica Futurity. Joined now with some special guests here to talk about the Augusta Futurity coming up in January. We've got Mr. Mark Senn in the middle, Mr. Shepard on the end, and Craig Thompson here on my side. Welcome everybody.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Well, so Mark, obviously some big changes to the Augusta Futurity. We wanted to kind of highlight that during this show to kind of let everybody know what's going on this year. You've taken over the reins from Mr. Billy Morris. Been one of the longest standing shows, I believe, in the cutting horse schedule.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what made you decide to do this?
Well, first of all, Billy asked me, and it's hard to say no to him. And it was an honor because being from Augusta, I grew up with the Augusta Futurity, being able to take it on and continue that tradition. And we're going to continue it in Perry right now, but continue that tradition is quite an honor to do.
And how has it changed the show moving from Augusta to Perry? Obviously, it's been there for a couple of years now. We were out there last year. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, it's a great facility. Everything's on one. You know, Augusta, the complaints were you had one facility, you had training, and one you had to show in.
Yeah.
Here, everything's under one facility, covered from the practice arena back to the main arena. We're going to the Reeves Arena this year, which is the big one. Holds the capacity's 5,000. We expect 5,000 people there at the finals.
Yeah.
And then it's just a great facility to have any equine event, particularly for cutting.
Yeah. Well, like you mentioned, everything is not under one roof, but it's all accessible right there. You don't have to go anywhere, and it makes it a lot easier, especially if the weather does get bad. I mean, it doesn't affect the preparation. Austin, you're a 7-time champion there at the Augusta Futurity. Last year you won it on Magic. What does it mean for you to have a show like that on the East Coast? How important is that?
Oh, it's very important. I mean, we have to have shows like that on the East Coast to keep it thriving. We need the entire nation to be strong, to have a good association. People like Mark got in the business probably from seeing their first cutting horse at the Augusta Futurity. People like the Becky Elliott family and Jeffrey Matthews and the Gales, people like that are very strong in our business. That's where they saw their first cutting horse.
Yeah, and I mean, you look back through some of the names that have been so prevalent in this sport. I mean, a lot of them got into it through the Augusta Futurity. That was the first cutting they ever went to, and I've talked to a lot of people that said, yeah, this is where I first saw cutting, and they're still here so many years later. So, Craig, you've been a 3-time champion there. What is it for your customer? Why is it important for your customers to be able to go to that show?
I'm just fortunate and blessed to have some customers on the East Coast, and that show means a lot to them. It's been an honor to go over there and show. Everybody there really wants to go out of their way and do the very best they can, especially with Mark coming on and especially with Gwen Cooey coming on, to try to promote and produce the best show possible. And you was talking about the facility. The facility it's all in one area, very safe. Practice pens, stalls, show pen, everything's going to be under one roof there, connected, so you're not out in the elements, and plenty of room. It's a very nice upgrade, and very fortunate to go to Perry and show there.
Well, and cattle were always a big subject, at Augusta. It was always a little tough. They were in the parking lot, and and it was a little hard to source them sometimes out there. Austin, you're on the committee there. Tell us a little bit about what's different now with the cattle.
Well, in Augusta we were kind of locked down to one provider, and we needed him when we needed him.
Yeah.
But down where we are now, there's more access to cattle out of Florida, South Alabama, South Georgia. Will Parker at Enterprise Livestock's been a big help. He's helped us get some cattle together from different people in there, so there's more variety of cattle.
Yeah. Well, that's going to help. And then also another thing that's changed is there's a lot more weekend shows now. Mark, talk a little bit about that. Like we've got 4 days, I believe, or 3 days, 2 days of weekend shows at the start of the show, and then 4 other NCHA Open and On-Pro 2000 addeds.
That's correct. We have the 740 addeds the first 2 days, so everybody can get their horses shown. And then during the week we have the 2000 added, Open non-pro, and then amateur 1500. And those will be really good classes. We kept the entry fee low on those. with the sponsorships we had, so that we keep the people entries up.
Yeah, yeah. Craig, what does that mean for you? I mean, obviously you drive a little further than what Austin does. How does that help you having more classes and more options to show out there?
Well, I tell you, like Austin had a great show last year. Would you win over 100?
Yeah, like 115,000.
115, 117,000.
There was a Brinks truck leaving right with his rig at the end of that show.
As it always
I was
does.
headed to my bill collector.
But you know, and then you take someone and like it, for my situation, which I feel like I didn't have a very good show, but I still placed I finished 6th, and with the incentive money, I ended up winning $10,000, you know? And you can justify making that trip, you know? And then my customers, I mean, Mark's got it to where that not only is the Open going to pay well, but they've structured it to where the non-pro and the amateur is going to pay as well too, you know? And that means a lot to my customers, you know, they can, you know, they'll not only are they going to show in the amateur now, well, they're going to show in the non-pro as well, you know?
Yeah. And speaking of that incentive, Mark, talk a little bit about the stallion incentive.
Right, we have $50,000 in the 4-year-old stallion incentive, and it pays well. We've had that every year. This year will be no exception.
Yeah. And how are you running the incentive? How do stallions get involved with that?
Historically, they've gotten involved several years in advance. We've got 2 more years running like it is now. After that, we'll go like the Southern and have it the year of the event.
Okay.
But you know, it's already booked for next year and the following year as well. But it's about $50,000 each year.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like, you know, there's a lot of new things that are happening there at Augusta, some changes being made, and worth a trip out there. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can win money out there now, and you guys are going above and beyond. The hospitality's always been great at Augusta, and now at Perry, and you know, with that Southern hospitality. It's going to be great to see Ms. Gwen Cooey out there in the office. You know, everybody has her cell phone number, so that makes it easy and keep in touch. And obviously the show's using Equinol show software this year, so if you're signed up, you'll be getting your text notifications for every draw, and you'll be able to see all the results straight on CHC Live Scoring. So, well, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time, and we invite everybody out to Augusta, to Perry, Georgia, for the Augusta Futurity. Come on out and enjoy the show with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.